rewarded a single individual. But this year, the contributions of one group of people impacted the club so greatly they simply couldn't be overlooked. The Boys and Girls Club's Facilities Committee's responsibilities were to oversee the renovation and construction projects of the club's capital campaign. But as you can see by this picture, they simply just did a lot of the projects themselves. From building the teen center snack bar and study room to hanging backpack hooks and shelves, the club estimates the committee's hard labor and get-it-done attitude has saved the organization $60,000 in capital campaign expenses. One of these committee members, our recently retired Fire Chief Tim Herlash, who unfortunately couldn't be with us today, has put in between 250 and 300 hours volunteering at the club this year working on various projects. The club is honored to award Tim Herlash, Arlie Porter, Richard Board, Karsten Board, and Lori Vorpal as our 2015 Volunteers of the Year.
I have to tell you about this picture, as long as Arlie is taking a long time to get up here. This is the one picture that we have of Arlie working. Arlie did a lot of supervising during this time. That's what happens when you don't get up right away.
Well, thank you for that warm introduction. I appreciate that. Julie asked me to say a few words and be brief. Sometimes that's a challenge for me, but I will do that. Good leaders delegate. They empower their team. That particular night, I was looking for somebody to hand that shovel off to. And Rich's son, Karsten, who is much younger than I am, and Rich as well, and Tim Herlash, and Lori, I think, was there, was emptying that heavy other wheelbarrow that was there that night. But Julie did catch me in a rare moment. I prefer to delegate and empower. Julie asked me to say a few words. Gave me some bullet points yesterday that I thought over last night and this morning in preparing for addressing this group. And my journey on the board, how it began, and where we're at today is unbelievable for me. One of the things when I joined the board, I noticed that they didn't have any other short people on the board. So I said, we have to reach out to my good friend, and get him engaged in the board, which we've done. The rest of the people are far taller than Fran and I are. Here's how I got involved in the club. I was asked, about 5 years ago I became the chief of police. That's my other volunteer, paid volunteer, a job that I have in the community. I've been with the police department 36 years. I started when I was 12. I was contacted by Heather Powell, who said, would you mind being interviewed about our Boys and Girls Club from a team of people we've put together to learn more about the club? I said, that's fine. I said, this will be easy. I didn't know anything about the club. It bordered on embarrassment to myself, both personally and professionally. I said I would be glad to take part in that. I sat through an interview. I believe the man was from Oshkosh. I was probably critical of the club. I can be blunt, I can be honest, and told the interviewer that this club, quite frankly, I don't know a lot about it. I don't think it's marketing itself effectively. Nobody knows about it. And they said, that's fine, do you have anything else? So I have a few more things, make some notes, and we went from there. The next thing I know, I'm asked to join the board. There's a message there. There's a message there. It was a very quick, easy decision for me to make, and I said, sure. I had no idea what I was getting involved in. I don't sing well. I had been to Rotary before. They do a lot of singing. I didn't want to get involved in that. I think they do great things in the community. I was on other law enforcement boards throughout the state. Wanted to do something different. I needed a new challenge at the time. So I said, sure, I'll get involved in the board and we'll see where this goes. One of the early things that they said is we need a facility. So, oh great, another building project for nonprofits. And I had mixed thoughts on how that should be accomplished. Was familiar with the city, the buildings that might be available. And somehow in that process I met Tom Lutzy. He was also on the search committee for a building. We looked at some buildings in the city. Didn't think they met the standards and would cost too much to fix them up to the club standard that we needed for the kids. So then I got a call one day out of the blue from Tom. He said, what do you know about that building, the Bodwin Inc. building? I said, I know a little bit about it. I helped them move in there probably 20 years ago with a lot of heavy file cabinets that Bodwin family had. I said, I'm familiar with it. I said, maybe has potential. He said, let's go take a look at that. And after looking at it and refreshing my memory with how large the building was, I said, yeah, I think this can work. And Heather moved on, and Julie was promoted to the position that she is in. And through her vision, because I have trouble drawing a stick man, so it's difficult for me to look at building plans and have the vision that it takes to fix up a building that was really, it's very sound. It's a very sound building, and we were able to secure the funding and purchase that building that we're in now that you see in these slides. And in that process, I was asked to be on the building committee, and I accepted that, and I knew that we needed somebody that was strong, stubborn, and was a tremendous worker. And that was Tim Herlash. So I recruited him. He had no idea what he was getting himself involved in. And unfortunately, he did retire recently and is doing what retired people do. He's up snowmobiling in the UP, so he couldn't be here. But I can't say enough about my partner, Fire Chief, retired Tim Herlash. So we got him involved and recruited a number of people to help. But Tim really led the charge here. And I think that numbers of 250 hours are conservative, and the dollar savings of $60,000 is probably light. So that was my journey to where I'm at today, and I know I've gone over my 3 minutes already, Julie. I'm sure she'll remind me of that at some point today. The quality of life that we all enjoy here in Door County truly is second to none. I'm convinced of that. I believe that. That's because of the community members that live here, work here, and play here, and are in this room. There are a lot of new people, and it's amazing when you offer free breakfast how you can fill a room up with people. So please enjoy. My challenge to you is this. I'm really not the money person at someone else's. Mine is very simple. Tell 10 people about the club. Very simple message. Just tell 10 people. Get the word out there. Tell your friends, your neighbors, your relatives, strangers. Go up to them on the street about the great things that this club has done in 2 short years. We've been here in this building. It's a very easy one. That won't cost you money unless they ask to be paid to listen to you. But please, that's very simple. Just ask 10 people to listen to you and tell them about your experience with the club, and that will help get the message out there. We're still not a household name. I want this to be a household name throughout Door County. That's my personal goal for this year, is to simply make the Boys and Girls Club another household name like we are other groups here that are in Door County. Very simple goals to have. I like to keep it simple. So, I've gone over my 3 minutes again. Not unusual. I would not do good at the mayor's orders when we have city council meetings to keep it to 3 minutes. So, I apologize for going over. Thank you very much for the award. It means a lot to me. Rich, it's all yours.
I do use my 3 minutes.
Thank you.